Hi guys, welcome to Office Blokes React. I'm Office Bloke Dave.
I'm Office Bloke Mike.
Together with two of the Office Blokes, aren't we?
We are indeed.
Yeah,
That's correct.
True factual statement.
Yeah.
Office Bloke Daz has almost finished his transition in surgery.
All right.
He's going to make an ugly woman. Just putting it out there. I would too, so I can say it.
Hey, yeah, fair enough,
An attractive woman, really.
Yeah, each to their own, if that's what you want to do.
Yeah. It's the beard that throws it off, for both of us, to be fair.
Right, okay.
Yeah. Anyway.
You both got the boobs already, so
hey!
I'll make it a bit cheaper.
Pecs. Thank you very much. Pecs. Right then, when cops have to arrest their children.
Wow. How bizarre.
Yeah.
I suppose it happens, doesn't it? You know, law of averages, the amount of police in the world, you know, some of them are going to have kids that are trouble.
Yeah.
I'm guessing.
I don't think you are supposed to police your own neighbourhood, are you? Is that something over here where, like...
We did used to have local police, didn't we? I know there's one near us at the Well Green where we did used to have a guy that was local. And he did used to walk around sometimes as well, but you don't get it. You just don't get it these days, do you?
No.
Not in local villages and stuff. You just don't see the police walking around at all, pretty much. Sometimes in the towns you do, the bigger towns, but I think a lot of them do tend to work in areas where they're not from for that reason.
They go past me a lot. Because where I live is the route from the local police station to get to the motorway.
Oh, is it? Right,
so
okay.
you fly past with
so
the blues.
Yeah.
They actually, across the road from my house, stand there with the speed gun as well.
Oh, do they?
Sometimes, yeah.
Right, okay.
Because there's a sharp bend that people obviously go too fast round, but you wouldn't, because it's not somewhere you'd drive fast anyway.
Yeah, right, okay.
But I've had multiple times pulling into where I live and they're stood there with a gun looking at me.
I was going to say, if you've been caught yourself, but if you're slowing down to pull in now, I guess you sort of...
speed.
No? Oh,
I've
you don't
never,
anyway?
No.
Oh, right, that's fine.
Never.
I see.
I
I believe you.
0 to 30 as fast as I can, and then 30 like that intently.
Yeah, I'm sure, yeah.
Yeah.
How did your speed awareness course go last year?
Which one?
Oh, yeah. Anyway.
Right, when cops have to arrest their children, let's go for it.
Cops have to deal with all sorts of violent and horrifying criminals in their job. But what happens when it's their own children that they have to arrest?
Dad! Get in the car. You're arrested for DUI.
On the 28th of December 2022, a witness had observed a white vehicle strike a traffic light and then quickly drive off. A part of the vehicle's bumper had fallen off in the road after the hit. Around 15 minutes after the call, police located the suspect's vehicle at a gas station across the road, but the driver was the last person they expected.
Come back from Applebee's?
Yeah, I had a drink.
Okay. How old are you?
21. My dad is,
Listen, your bumper's in the road over there. Did you just hit that pole?
No, I promise you I did not.
No?
The very thing 21-year-old Teresa says is that her dad is an officer with the local PD, possibly hoping that he'd come and get her out of the situation. But the cops at the scene are sure that things are way past that.
You left Applebee's.
Yeah, I left Applebee's.
You cut through the plaza. You came out by Lowe's and Chick-fil-A.
Yeah.
Did you hit the traffic pole that's right there?
I did not hit the traffic pole. This part was hanging off already. I hit a deer in Pennsylvania because I go to school in...
Do you smoke marijuana recreationally?
No, I do not smoke marijuana universally.
Universally, smoking marijuana isn't the only part of her story that doesn't make any sense. She's saying that her bumper was already hanging off from an accident in Pennsylvania around 25 miles away, and it just happened to fall off right as another car identical to hers struck a traffic light. But Teresa has a trick up her sleeve that might just get her out of this. At least, that's what she hopes.
I hit a deer.
You see this?
I hit a deer before this. You can ask my dad.
This piece fell off at the traffic light that you hit. That you knocked over. 670. Do you have another unit out with you?
You call my dad? He's a sheriff's officer.
All right. Hang out.
Over the course of just a few minutes, Teresa brings up her dad over 5 times, obviously
You probably would, though, wouldn't you?
Yeah, but she must know he can't get her off it. The proper police officers wouldn't say, this is my daughter, so just let it go.
There's a difference between a speeding ticket and being like, come on, guys.
Yeah.
You know, it's 5 miles an hour over.
But if it's DUI, though...
DUI
then,
and crash.
Then if he says, let her go, lads, I mean, there's got all these other police officers who are complicit in...
Body cam footage. It's
complicit in letting someone go.
Yeah.
You know, when they just can't do it these days. It just won't happen, I don't think.
You can see why she's said it so many times.
Yeah.
But as the dad, you've probably got to come down harder on it.
Oh yeah, and I bet he'll think it serves you right, and you're going to get what's coming to you. It's the only way for you to learn.
Yeah.
You know, you can't. Otherwise, she'll just do it again.
Yeah. Imagine being the dad and coming up and you see the reg plate of the car.
I know, yeah.
And you just go,
like, oh, yeah, for laugh. Yeah. Oh man.
Praying that he'll be able to find a way for her to get out of this. But before he can come to rescue her, the cops are starting to zero in on what really happened and begin to get at least some of the truth from Teresa.
Did you drive away because you're scared because you maybe had one drink and you think you're drunk?
Yeah.
And you might get arrested, but you don't seem like you're drunk?
Yes.
So you want to just tell the truth?
Yes, I'm telling you the
So when after Applebee's, did you hit a traffic pole? You can't miss it. It lights up. It's red, green, and yellow.
I hit a curb.
You hit a traffic signal.
No, I hit a curb.
Yeah, you went up the curb, you hit the traffic signal fell down, and you
I
left.
was texting. Can you just
Okay.
call my dad?
Oh,
Yeah.
Well,
The sheriff's officer,
here's the thing.
I
Your dad, the
promise.
sheriff's officer, wasn't driving your vehicle today.
In just this one short conversation, Teresa admits that she did hit something,
Wow.
that she's more intoxicated than they realized, and that she was texting while driving. 3 driving faults that
Deary
can
me.
each come with their own punishment. So now that the truth has come out, the detectives decide to speak with her father, John. But it turns out he's not there to help her.
Hey, John, how are you? So your daughter hit a traffic wall. Go back there. Okay. Where's the damage on the car?
Okay, the damage on the car there, I think it was like the front right bumper.
John explains that Teresa did hit a deer earlier and that the damage was on the front right bumper. But it was nowhere near as serious as the damage the car was currently sustaining.
Can I come out? You guys out there?
That's up to you. I'll see if she wants you to come out, if she wants, you to drive her home.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Let me come out there and I'll see you guys in a couple minutes. Thank you.
Okay, all right, sounds good.
It looks like Teresa isn't going to be getting the salvation she was hoping for from her dad. And just 5 minutes later, he arrives at the scene to talk with the cops.
What's up? So, what she's saying, and where the damage was and everything, doesn't really make too much sense. So, tried to get some more information out of her, but and then that piece of bumper there. So, for the other one, was it just like the bumper wasn't hanging like that?
Yeah, no, so what it was is basically this was intact.
Okay.
This piece was missing, and the scratches here, that's all from a deer that she who's the officers.
So right now, this is going to be my call.
Okay.
Supervisor coming out.
Okay, gotcha.
He's going to be providing all the details.
Okay, who's your supervisor?
Sorry, John Paul.
Not that much, dude. I'm just asking.
The cops who were first at the scene almost seem as though they're expecting John to try and make excuses for his daughter, and get extra nervous when he asks who their supervisor is. Obviously, there are countless examples of corruption where officers, especially those in the higher ranks, are able to use their power to prevent their family from getting into trouble. However, the officers quickly realize all he's trying to do is gather all the information on the incident so he can make a fair assessment himself. This quickly becomes evident as he checks his text messages from her to try and create a timeline of events.
I just want to show you this so you can see it. You home 10:39. What do you think? Time do you think that initial call came? Because she probably hit it and was like, "Dad, what the fuck do I do?"
Somewhere between 10:45 and 11.
That's about right.
When we were talking to her, she wasn't telling us what she said all.
I mean, lying to she knows better. I'm a cop. She knows. She knows not to do that. Well, maybe she didn't even. Do you think she? I'm not. I'm saying she didn't lie.
Yeah.
Okay. I want to be very clear about that. But she might not even look at the freaking car to see if there's any difference.
However, despite John's willingness to help the officers out, the sergeant at the scene asks him not to get involved, so to guarantee the integrity of the investigation. So far, everything other than Teresa's conduct has been perfect and is a great example of proper policing. So, it's back to focusing on what Teresa had mentioned earlier.
You've got to be so careful as the dad there who's a cop, because if you say something that could be misconstrued,
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely.
you know,
Yeah.
like when he said who's your officer in charge or whatever,
Yeah, supervisor.
you could kind of see that they were a bit like,
Yeah,
it's
is he
almost like
trying to
they-
get
they
her off
took a
sort of
step
thing?
back.
Or yeah, definitely.
Yeah, like how's he going to try and play this?
Yeah.
But he's
It
obviously
must be a difficult one. I mean, I guess, I get it that if it's a member of your family, your son or daughter, you want to see him get into trouble. But on the other hand, as a law enforcement officer, you've got to do the right thing as well, haven't you?
Absolutely,
You know.
yeah.
She says she'd only had one drink at Applebee's, but it's starting to seem as though she may be a little more drunk than they realized. Suspicions that were only confirmed after some field sobriety tests.
And everything that happened today, right? I don't think that you were okay to take the officer from motor vehicle.
Dad!
So,
Dad!
You got everything right.
Dad! Where's my dad?
Oh, your dad's right over here. Dad.
You stop with this shit. Get in the car.
Right,
You're arrested for DUI. Go ahead.
Have a seat.
After being forced into the police vehicle by her own dad, Teresa was driven to the police station where her blood alcohol level was tested. It came back as 0.17%, over twice the legal limit.
Ooh,
As
dear.
of this upload, Teresa is still awaiting her penalty, but has been issued a court summons for driving under the influence, reckless driving, and failure to report a car accident. Teresa's
Twice a drink drive limit.
Yeah.
I don't condone drink driving whatsoever.
No.
But over here, for a male of our size, you can probably about 2 pints over a couple of hours.
Yeah,
Is
I think
roughly the
that
drink
used to be a
drive
rule
limit.
of thumb, didn't it? You're better off with none, but I mean,
There's no
average
hard
strength
and fast,
lager.
like because metabolisms are different and
Yeah,
everything.
and people
that.
do like to go out and not necessarily have loads of drinks, but if you're going out for a meal, might have maybe just one beer and one glass of wine or something. So
Yeah.
there is a rule of thumb that people do tend to go off, and that probably, if you're eating as well,
A couple of
Yeah,
pints over a couple of hours.
you're probably okay. But
So I'm
it's still guesswork a bit of it, isn't it?
It's
really?
always
But-
good. That's why they say
yeah.
just don't drink at all before you get behind the wheel. But
Yeah.
what I'm thinking is, though, if she's twice the legal limit, if that was over here, that'd maybe be like, for a girl her size, 3 pints of beer.
She
or
must have had a
something
few,
like that.
I would guess, to be twice over, because she wasn't very big, was she? So
No, but that's still not enough to mount a curb, crash into a light
Well,
pole,
yeah,
you
yeah.
know, and drive off.
Yeah.
And like, I'd expect that from someone who's drank 10 pints. No,
Yeah, I know,
like
yeah.
yeah.
But yeah,
But don't do it.
Not
yeah.
good.
Don't drink and drive, kids.
Don't do it.
dad followed protocol perfectly, but Kenneth Adams' dad did the exact opposite when he tried to abuse his power as a commissioner to try and save his son from prison.
Tell me who I called to find out why he's in jail. You want me to sue the son of a county sheriff?
In November 2022, Kenneth Adams was pulled over for running a stop sign. But as it turns out, Kenneth was in much more trouble than he realized.
How's it going?
Good. What did I do wrong?
Good. So the reason I stopped you is you didn't come to complete stop the stop sign,
I did.
and then you didn't have your turn signal on.
I sure did.
Okay.
I know for a fact I had my turn signal on.
Okay.
That's why I was surprised you were pulling me over, but whatever.
The officer then took his license and ran it through the system, where he would discover Kenneth had a warrant out for burglary and theft of a vehicle. All of a sudden, Kenneth becomes defensive and refuses to exit the vehicle.
All right. Can I get you to step out of the vehicle with me?
What are you doing? No, what's going on? Seriously, what's going on?
You have a warrant.
How do I have a warrant?
I don't know how you have a warrant, but it's on our system right now. You have an active warrant out of 7th District Court here in San Juan.
I've gone to, no, that's incorrect. Because
Okay.
I've gone
Well,
to
it's on our system right now.
Well, you
I'm
need
not
to
going to
call-
argue with you about it. You're going to go to jail tonight on that warrant, okay?
No, I'm not. Dude, this is absurd.
Mr. Adams, you do have an active warrant for your arrest.
And who issued the warrant, though?
The courts have
court.
issued.
For what, though? Because I've gone to court for everything. There should not be an active warrant for me anywhere, dude.
Kenneth claims that he's already been to court for his previous crimes, but the warrant still calls for his arrest. For the majority of smaller cases, the suspect is tasked with turning in the documents that prove that they've been to court and completing any classes they were made to attend by the judge. Without those documents, the court cannot confirm they attended anything. So when Kenneth forgot to turn his in, the warrant remained open, and the police had no way to tell that he had in fact been to court.
Issued October 13th.
For what?
It has some felony charges, burglary charges.
Dude, I've been to court for that. No, I've been to court for that.
You want to know the charges?
Yeah, I do.
So it has 2 burglary charges listed, a theft charge, mischief,
That's on my old case.
3 charges of burglary of a vehicle, and
Yeah.
criminal trespass.
Yeah, why is that floating up now?
Kenneth was taken away to the station, but this is when his father, Bruce Adams, turned up, who turned out to be the county commissioner for the local area. How convenient for Kenneth. Immediately after arriving at the scene, Bruce demanded to know what was going on and quickly started to show signs of corruption.
Where's Kenneth?
He's in jail. They took him.
You already took him to jail?
They took him to jail, and I stayed here with the car.
Why?
For a warrant.
Who do I call to find out?
To find out the warrant?
You're a police officer. Tell me who I called to find out why he's in jail.
I gotta be careful with this stuff, Bruce. You understand that? Okay. That's the warrant. Okay, so it says warrant status active, offense burglary, burglary, theft, criminal mischief, burglary of a vehicle, burglary of a vehicle, burglary
He's
of a vehicle.
already been to court over that.
You saw the warrant right there. I showed you a warrant.
He's been charged with that, and he has a plea in abeyance on all of it.
What do you want me to do?
I want you to turn him loose.
I can't turn him loose, Bruce.
Who can?
Nobody can. He's been arrested for a warrant. The courts can.
And the warrant's false.
Huh? The warrant's not false.
You want me to sue the son of a county sheriff because he arrested my kid on a false warrant?
The warrant's right there.
Bruce is obviously trying to abuse his position and influence the commissioner to try and save his son from the law. But luckily, this officer stands his ground and refuses to cave in.
So he should.
You can see why he's pissed, but at the same time, you'd be like, okay, well, if the warrant's already been dealt with, he's been to court, he's going to go to jail, and then it's going to get dealt with.
You think these people that know, like him, like the guy who's arrested his dad, would know that he clearly hasn't submitted the paperwork to say that everything had been completed? That's why the warrant's still active, because it hasn't been cancelled, because he's clearly not got the paperwork back. So he must have thought to himself, it's my bag, I didn't fill in the paperwork, I've not sent the paperwork back.
Yeah.
And you thought he would have sort of like explained it to him. Wouldn't have stopped him going to jail, because if it's active clearly, isn't it?
Yeah, it's active pending the courts saying actually this has been
and receiving the paperwork, and then they say yes it is, and then it's not active. But if it is active on the system, this police officer is absolutely within his rights to arrest him, and there's nothing he can do about it. He's right.
What did cops do before body cams?
Yeah,
you know, when a guy like that is like, you're getting sued.
Yeah.
And now it's like, well,
exactly, yeah. But even this commissioner here, media, he should know, shouldn't he, that they've got body cams on, and should be careful what he's saying.
Yeah, very.
Eventually, though, Kenneth was released from jail, the warrant was withdrawn, and no further action was taken against Bruce. But the officers that arrested this law student weren't as lucky.
There's nothing in this vehicle, I promise you. I didn't do anything.
Marion Humphrey Jr., son of retired county judge Marion Humphrey Sr., was pulled over after an officer allegedly witnessed him driving dangerously. Footage shows him swerving slightly after missing his exit. Marion is lit up by the officer and pulled over. He's then told the officer witnessed him nearly wreck his car and is suspected of dangerous driving.
When did you rent the car? Yesterday. You gotta take it, turn it back in a Fayetteville? Pick it up in Fayetteville?
I'm sorry, sir. I'm trying to figure out that you have probable cause.
Yeah, because you're super nervous, so I'm trying to figure out why you're so nervous.
Being a law student, Marion asks if the officer has probable cause for pulling him over. The officer struggles to give a good answer before claiming Marion seems super nervous. First of all, being nervous isn't a crime, and isn't evidence towards a crime either. And secondly, Marion actually carries himself incredibly well in this situation. He complies with the officer's requests, asks why he's being pulled over, and why he's being held. He even calls his dad to listen in on the entire arrest, something the officer clearly didn't like, as he then asks to search Marion's U-Haul.
If I bring a dog, is it going to hurt anything?
Yeah, no, it's not going to hurt anything. I promise you. We just don't want to get shot. Yeah, that's all, and I'm sorry about that. It happens. I know it happens. Honestly, I don't want you to bring a dog because I don't think that's fair to me as a citizen, as someone who, if the only thing I did was kind of, like, I did not almost wreck my car.
If you don't want to bring a dog, just let me look in here real quick and I'll get you down the road. I don't have to bring a dog.
I just think that's so invasive of my rights, but you can live in here if you like to.
Marion does an extremely good job of eloquently showing how terrifying it can be to be stopped by the police, while maintaining a calm and respectful tone with the officer the whole time.
You know, when he's saying, I just don't want to get shot, do you think that's because it's like a white cop and...
It probably is, yeah. I'm guessing maybe it's an area or at a time where there has been trouble in that, because, there in the States there's been a few incidents, haven't there, of black guys getting shot by white cops.
Must be
So
scary.
maybe it's sort of a time
scary.
where it does maybe something in the news about it at that particular time, and there's a bit more nervousness about the place. Yeah, I don't know.
Just imagine having to consider that on top of everything else.
Well,
because getting pulled over by the cops is scary enough as it is.
Cool, yeah, I'm sure, yeah.
Yeah, if I was him, I'd probably be like, put me in cuffs and put me in the back of the car. At least I know I'm safe. And then we can work out all the T's and C's.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
But regardless, Marion is placed in handcuffs for over an hour while the cops search his vehicle with a dog. According to the officer, the dog smelled narcotics and alerted the officers before even entering the U-Haul.
The dog alerted on narcotics in the vehicle, so I detained him and he's in the back car while I searched the vehicle. No, but he almost did, so that's probably the cops saying.
Daddy, he's arresting me. He's arresting me.
Give me your other hand.
He's arresting me, Daddy. There's nothing in that vehicle. I promise you.
Okay, come here.
I didn't do anything.
Predictably, the cops find nothing in the vehicle. Marion has since opened up a lawsuit against the officers, claiming they violated his 4th and 14th Amendment rights. As of this video's upload, the case is still ongoing.
Shit.
Well, it clearly wasn't true that the dog had sniffed out narcotics.
No.
There clearly wasn't anything in there.
No.
It seemed to me like that was a bit of an excuse to go ahead with the search of the whole van, maybe.
Yeah.
But
And when he asked for probable cause, he said, "You seem really nervous."
Yeah.
And it's like, well, you'd already pulled him over at that point. Probable cause needs to be you pulled him over because you saw something.
Yeah.
And like missing a junction and that little twitch that he did, people do that all the time.
Oh yeah, it's one of those. It's like to be junction and
go
going for it, but too late, and then you get. That's exactly what happened there, I reckon.
It's exactly what
We've
happened.
all done it.
But the cop's just gone. You know, the cop's spidey senses have tingled and been wrong.
Yeah,
I think,
I
and
think
he's been desperate to find something.
I think that's the top and bottom.
Exactly,
that's the top and bottom of it, I reckon. But clearly, it's an ongoing case, that one. So see how it pans out.
Yeah, I don't know what the laws are on searching vehicles and stuff without probable cause.
Well, again, I mean, I guess you have to have a probable cause, don't you?
Yeah, but that's where he said that the dog said that there was narcotics, and maybe the dog was off camera, and he said that the dog acted in a way.
Yeah, they can't say question the dog, can you?
No.
You know what I mean? You know, just say the police officer just say, he gave me reason to believe that there was something in there, but you haven't got footage of it again. It's just his word, isn't it, against everyone else's?
Yeah.
But
have you been pulled over by the cops before?
Once. It was about well over 30 years ago.
Wow.
I was actually on my way down to Dover at like 2:30 in the morning. So it was in Bowden.
Yeah.
Just going down to the main road. And obviously they just pulled me over, literally.
What are you doing on the roads
What
at this
doing?
time?
So just had a quick word, just told them what I was doing, this, that and the other, and said, all right, that's fine. Because I was going along the road at that time of morning in a van, and straight away you think someone's on the rob.
Yeah.
So, but I think that's the only time I've ever been pulled over.
I got pulled for no insurance once, but it's because the insurance company had swapped 2 letters on my car.
Yeah.
But they'd swapped 2 letters on the reg plate to a car that was exactly the same.
Right, okay.
But then, it's the same make, model and colour of car, but they just swapped 2 bits round.
Right.
And I got pulled over for no insurance.
Yeah.
And luckily on my phone I had a text saying my insurance had just been renewed 2 days before. And when I was in the back of the car, I was like, look, that's literally from my company.
Yeah.
So then they searched me and found that I had insurance, but it was on a car with a different reg.
That's why they pulled you, because it's the one with a different reg.
And they just said, as soon as you get where you're going to go, phone your insurance company, get it sorted. And they were dead reasonable about it, to be fair.
I'll believe you, Dave. Thousands wouldn't, but...
Can you imagine doing that with a gun in your face, though?
Yeah, well, no, yeah. I mean, you'd be a bit twitchy, wouldn't you, to say the least?
Especially when there's been things in the news about people.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, of course, it can happen.
I'd be holding on to this.
Yeah, I know, yeah. All like say, just cuff me.
Yeah, Jesus. Must be terrifying.
Oh, yeah, just a bit.
Wow. Right then, I hope you guys enjoyed that as well. Make sure you like and subscribe. Comment below if you've ever been pulled over by the cops and what for.
Yeah, full details.
Just be careful not to incriminate yourself. And we will see you soon. Cheers.